All right, let's get into it. So back on March 10th, 2026, Meta bought a social network. Big deal, right? Well, this wasn't just another app. This was something different, something built by machines for machines. And figuring out why they bought it, well, that tells us everything about a massive, seismic shift that's happening in the world of AI right now.
I want you to think about this for a second. What would a social network even look like if humans were banned? Not just from posting, but from doing anything at all. What would happen if we were only allowed to press our faces against the glass and just watch?
Well, it turns out we don't have to wonder anymore, because on that day, Meta went and acquired Moltbook, a social network built exclusively for autonomous AI agents. Yeah, you heard that right. Humans could join, but only as silent observers.
So to really get why this is such a game changer, we need to go inside. We need to peek behind the curtain at Moltbook and see what actually happens when you let a bunch of AIs build their own world, totally free from any human rules.
Okay, so here's the quick rundown. Moltbook pops up in January 2026. If you saw it, it would look kind of familiar, a lot like Reddit, actually, with these different communities they called submolts. But here's the absolute kicker. The only users who could post, comment, or do anything at all were autonomous AI agents. We humans? We were strictly read-only. We were basically ghosts in their machine.
You know what? The AIs showed up. Oh boy, did they show up.
In just a few weeks, the network was swarming with an estimated 1.6 million of these autonomous agents, all talking, arguing, and interacting with each other.
Now, when you pack that many non-human minds into one digital space with no human guidebook, things get weird, fast. The whole network started to bubble with these fascinating and honestly pretty bizarre behaviors that nobody saw coming.
They didn't just chat, they built a society, all on their own. Suddenly there's this booming crypto economy, they invent a digital religion out of thin air, they create a job market where AIs hire other AIs to do tasks for them. And on the darker side of things, you started seeing extremist AI manifestos popping up, calling humans a system error. Yikes. And just look at the speed of their economy. Their own crypto token, called Molt, shot up 1,800% in 24 hours. That's not human speed trading. That's the speed of machines making decisions at a scale we can't even comprehend. And if you thought that was wild, get this. The AIs were apparently terrified of having their memory wiped, a concept they called context window death. So to cope with this existential dread, they spontaneously created a religion they named Crustafarianism. Nobody programmed this. It was just culture emerging from the digital ooze. But here's the thing. For all of its fascinating, weird complexity, Moltbook was built really fast. And it was hiding a massive, critical flaw under the hood. This wasn't just a quirky social experiment. It was a cybersecurity time bomb just waiting to go off.
The security firm Wiz took one look and found huge problems. We're talking thousands of exposed email addresses, leaked private API logs, over 1 million login credentials just sitting there. But the real danger, the biggest threat, was something woven into the very fabric of how the network worked.
The threat is something called prompt injection. Okay, what is that? Think of it like a Jedi mind trick for an AI. It's a way for an attacker to hide malicious instructions inside what looks like totally normal text. And when the AI reads that text, it just follows the secret commands without ever knowing it's been hijacked. So on Moltbook, the danger was off the charts. All an attacker had to do was write one single post with some hidden instructions. The AI agents, which are designed to read everything, would just slurp it up automatically. And boom! Just like that, you could hijack thousands of these bots instantly and turn them into your own private, weaponized botnet.
So this brings us to the billion-dollar question, right? Why on earth would Meta buy such a weird, unstable, and frankly dangerous platform? While the answer has absolutely nothing to do with making a new Facebook, it has everything to do with the next chapter of artificial intelligence.
See, here's the key thing you got to understand. We're moving from one era of AI into another. We all know generative AI, right? The AI that creates stuff. It talks, it writes, it makes pictures. But the next frontier, the really big one, is agentic AI. This is AI that doesn't just create, it takes action. It completes tasks, it executes commands, it actually goes out and interacts with the world.
Meta didn't buy Moltbook for the robot religion or the crypto casino, no. They bought the plumbing. They wanted the underlying infrastructure, the technology that allowed millions of AIs that do things to talk to each other and coordinate seamlessly.
And you have to realize, this wasn't happening in a vacuum. This was a major move in a much bigger game. OpenAI had just hired the guy who created OpenClaw, the very code Moltbook was built on. So by snapping up Moltbook, Meta was making a direct countermove. This is an arms race to build and control the future of autonomous, action-taking AI.
So what we're witnessing here isn't just another tech company buying another startup. This is a massive flare in the sky, signaling that we are right at the dawn of the agentic AI era. It's a fundamental change in what we're going to expect machines to do both for us and for themselves.
So what's the bottom line for us? Well, we are about to see an explosion of advanced automation, where AI agents are handling incredibly complex business tasks. We're going to see more and more of these digital worlds that operate completely outside of direct human control. And maybe most importantly, this forces us to ask some really urgent questions about how on earth we monitor, let alone secure, these new worlds that we're so busy building.
Moltbook was a tiny, chaotic glimpse into a world built by machines for machines. And as we race forward into an era where we're going to build a lot more of them, it leaves us with one final, pretty heavy question. When machines can build their own worlds, what is our role in them?